When it comes to the politics around corporate governance, there are a few people that you can take seriously, especially people who are activist investors who know the structure and the process inside and out. They're usually incredibly wealthy individuals, and at least the ones that we pay attention to, and they are on the same level, if not beyond, what Nelson Peltz is as, well, an activist investor. One of those gentlemen has weighed in today on something that may be illegal and, well, actually is illegal if it's actually being done. And I'm not making any allegations, but it seems like there's something fishy going on here. The word inappropriate's been thrown around a whole lot today, but I guess there's something more than inappropriate. And whose word can we take for all of this? Well, Bill Ackman. He's an incredibly wealthy man operating a pretty significant size fund and seems to be a home run hitter every time. Oh, and by the way, he's teamed up with Nelson Peltz on more than a few occasions. But we're going to jump right into the story for a change. And, well, here's the thumbnail. You've seen it already. Illegal. And you can see maybe Mickey's there making sure he monitors what's going into the ballot box, which seems to be something that there isn't a problem with, but disclosing what's going into the ballot box, well, that's something else entirely. And for change, I'm going to read this post from Twitter from Bill Ackman verbatim, with the exception of my occasional editorial as we go. So here we are, Bill Ackman himself. There have been a few recent articles in the press about Disney winning its proxy contest with Nelson Peltz based on early election returns that have been leaked to the media. We don't have an investment in Disney, but I thought it useful to point out the inappropriateness of these leaks to the press. Indeed. Only the company and its advisors have access to how shareholders have voted before the day of the annual meeting, which happens to be tomorrow. My understanding is that it is illegal to release the outcome of the vote prior to it's being finalized, as it has the effect of manipulating the outcome. No kidding. Here, the company and or its advisors have leaked that Disney is winning the contest. It is really inappropriate that they have done so. And how does one know that it is Disney and or its advisors that are the source of the leak? That's a good question. If Peltz were winning, there would be no leaks to the press. Wow. The reason why the progress of an election for directors must be kept confidential until the results are final is that leaking the results can affect the ultimate outcome. Institutional shareholders worry about offending management by voting with an activist. They are concerned that if management learns that they have voted against the incumbent directors, they may lose access to management going forward, a reasonable assumption. In other words, Bob Iger is less likely to come visit and or take a call with a shareholder if the shareholder voted with the dissident. This is clearly a close election, and on that note, I 100% agree. Institutions don't want to risk voting against the incumbent board if it is clear that the activist will lose. They want to be on the winning side of an election. Here, the company and or its advisors have leaked the early results in order to tip more institutions and other shareholders to vote for the incumbent board, unfairly tipping the scale in that incumbent board's favor. In other words, an institution may think if Peltz is going to lose, it is not worth taking the risk of offending management by voting for him. This is unfortunately not an uncommon practice. Years ago, in our proxy contest with ADP, the company and or its advisors did the same thing. The SEC should do a thorough investigation of this proxy contest and appropriately punish whoever is responsible for this miscarriage of shareholder governance and justice. They should. Companies of the caliber of Disney and or its advisors should not behave this way. Lastly, but importantly, I think highly of Nelson Peltz. I am sure he would be greatly additive as a member of the Disney board. Ask yourself, why is the company fighting so hard to keep him off? A question that I myself, Mexican Iron Man, That Park Place, Jonas J. Campbell, WW Pro, Valiant Renegade, and so many others have been asking, including my close friend Andre over at Midnight's Edge. And it seems like it would be a simple answer, but let's see what Mr. Ackman has to say. The fact that the company leaked the early returns to the media is further evidence that an activist of Nelson's caliber deserves to be on the board for all shareholders' benefit. Well, of course. Based on my knowledge of Nelson's capabilities and the dirty tricks implemented by the company and its advisors, I strongly recommend that shareholders vote for Nelson Peltz for the Disney board. Institutions who have already voted still have time to change their vote. This is true, up until 11:59 p.m. Eastern. It is time that we make an example of Disney here so that this bad practice does not continue to poison shareholder democracy. As a matter of fact, you can see that he cites a Wall Street Journal article that you can go look at. Amazing that this came out late this afternoon, and it already had a significant number of views, 120,000 as of this reading. Lots of positive feedback here, 1,800 likes and multiple retweets, including mine. I really hope that the Disney company stops doing this and exercising this practice, but I hope other companies don't decide they can weigh in and influence this. It really does wreck the process. And I agree, taints it. If it is illegal, as it's suggested by Mr. Ackman, then people should be held to account and punished appropriately. And we should find out via those media sources who exactly has been leaking that information. I think that would be very interesting. Don't you? Do you think that any of this leaking to the press has had an effect on the election? Do you think that Nelson Peltz would be a quality replacement for anybody on the board? And do you believe that a lot is at stake here, perhaps even the very future, the future success, or the future existence of the Disney company? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And on that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.